This crypto stuff keeps blowing my mind every single day. And I've already told you many times, it's just the start. And sometimes it can get overwhelming, but I mean, let's seriously accept that the bull market's back. A good example is this coin that I have held for a couple of years from 10 cents all the way down to 1 cent. Just a few months back, somebody was commenting angrily that I lied and it never hit 1 cent. But I don't know if we're looking at the same thing right there. That's, at least to me, definitely 1 cent here in October. And again, from the end of October up to now, it's done a 300 and a couple hours or 350x. Absolutely wild. DJI, I've been telling you guys about for a while, has just gone from, I think, like what, 6 or so parts of a cent to, I guess, 12. So about doubled. And about this price range here is where I started talking about it. So between 5 and 7 cents. And look at it now. It's just absolutely crazy. Not 5, 6 cents. You understand what I mean, right? 5 or 6 tenths of a cent. And I mean, you can't make this up. Just yesterday in my video, I'm talking about API 3. And I think, let's quickly take a look at Twitter. Just yesterday, I post, it's about to blow up, and oh my days. Look at where it is right now. It just blew past my expectations as well. Did a massive pump. And again, I don't mind people being so negative because many, shout out to Marvin here, many don't understand the insights that I've got. Many people just like to hate. No hard feelings towards anybody. I literally do not care and I couldn't care less. All we're looking for here is some crazy gains in the crypto market. And I've been telling you and hyping you up for a little while that at some point the time is going to be here. And to be honest, I've made many videos talking about this is your last chance, right? And I'll say, to some extent, you're a bit late now. If you still have not started with crypto, you're on the late side. If you now have to start learning all the ropes, there's a good chance you're gonna miss out on a ton of gains for just being too tardy or being too slow in getting things arranged. And the worst thing you can have is that you fall into this bracket of people that are not looking to buy, when things are going down, not looking to buy an actual crazy dip, but they're people that buy once prices recover and go absolutely crazy again. Many people are on this boat. Now, I will tell you one thing. Right now, the course of action and the most logical path is we only look at Bitcoin. Only. Is Bitcoin bullish? If so, go maximum on altcoins. Is Bitcoin bearish? Does it get a rejection now at 48 point something? Is it gonna get a little bull trap going, fall a little bit further? Be more hesitant until Bitcoin picks back up the pace, gets in an upward curve again, because we have already started the altcoin season phase. We're not in full-blown altcoin season. We have started the phase, though, where altcoins severely outperform Bitcoin, and I'm more inclined to only have altcoins than have Bitcoin. Having said that, I will always keep some Bitcoin for long-term and for safety purposes. Because at the end of the day, we can theorize as much as we want to. We can act smart as much as we want to. And believe in how things previously worked out. And believe in the Bitcoin cycles. But it doesn't necessarily have to go that way. It just is very likely to. I'll talk about it more on Dusty Trades, but these lines are not new. I just drew them in before. We talked before about CME gaps and how they very often get filled. And it's leading people to believe that we might actually see some prices way lower, like in the 15% correction range. And ultimately, in a period right now where people are very quick to go in and out of positions, and this will only keep getting faster, this could hurt altcoins significantly more. Yet, I am right now seriously mostly just buying new altcoins. Consider me stupid, please do, I don't really mind. But I'm skipping almost every single coin I've held for a long time. And many of them are undervalued gems. A Chainlink, I probably do good. A SUI will probably do pretty amazing. A Solana is pretty juicy. An XRP has a lot of potential. But for the most part, I'm going on the way lower scale, lower on the scale. So way smaller coins, way more potential, and I need to send some sort of hyped up announcement, some sort of deals being made somewhere, some cool new features coming up or so, because I'm looking to double or triple though on those coins every time. I'm not looking for, oh, nice, 50% gains. What a juicy day. No. Those times are over. I'm still excited about it for my main positions, for coins I'm willing to hold for a very, very long time. But again, once you get used to, and this is the fault of the crypto bull market, once you get used to these double your money overnight type of gains. I was talking about this over dinner just 2 days ago when it was at $1.70 and I was crazy excited. Right now it's at $3.25, so basically doubled over just 2 dinners. Again, this is one of my best investments ever because you don't often have a 350x. It doesn't happen that often. It happens But then usually it happens with very, very little money. And here I just got pretty lucky, I guess, because they changed over to the AI narrative. And again, I've not spoken to the founder in, well, let's see when the project started. So I'm going to say over 2 years and a couple months. I've not spoken to these guys. Thought they were dead, and then they just pick back up, which is a reason to not sleep on old altcoins. Good example. But when you're going for old altcoins, it's not your popular layer ones. It's not the biggest of biggest. I go for smaller ones that have an edge, or right now are in the, like I've said before, gaming, AI, real world assets, BRC, all those narratives that I'm excited about. I personally mostly specialize on these AI coins, of which SOLANA is one. Again, I'm not recommending you to buy. I literally don't care if you buy, I don't care if you hold, I'm just giving out information. And the reason I don't like to talk about specific coins is because of the risk inherently associated. And so I only want to do that in dedicated videos. What I'm showing you here in SOLANA, whatever, these are just examples of my investments. And I've talked about them on the channel. You can go back to 2021 when I placed my investment, because I just noticed I made a video. I noticed upon it a little bit earlier. And we talked about it somewhere further down the line. But SOLANA is a good example. You guys remember I made a video talking about why I sold my NOS at 55 cents. I think I sold I sold a good chunk of my portfolio. And I'm very open with that. It's not like I want you to believe something here of, oh, look at my crazy investment. Because then I probably would have lied to you and said, oh, this was a calculated move. It wasn't. I could have very well just sold it at 1 cent, everything, and be done, because some of my friends that invested with me did. But at that point, to me, it was worth very little money, and I thought I might as well just keep it for in case it moons. With a lot of my coins, guys, if they're down 90% and it's only worth, let's say, for example, $3,000, $1,000 or something, I'm just keeping it, seeing what happens. And again, I've got to update people in this video to tell them, anybody saying you can't turn $1,000 into a couple million is just, I think, stupid. Ignorant is the best way to call it. And I often have critics in the comments saying, Dusty, or you gotta tell us which coins will do that. And the honest truth is, if I knew before which coins will certainly do that, we wouldn't have this conversation, because if there's no element of risk or surprise to it, it just doesn't really work. Then again, for me, and that's your luck here, it's slightly different, because for some reason, I feel like I have to also prove my skills in some way, shape, or form. Because coins like VR, for example, I made a whole video section about it, talking about why I think it has some potential. And I thought for myself, I don't really have to here. Why would I want to do that, actually? And I realized, to some extent, I just feel like proving some people wrong, maybe, but hey, I'm also a human being, I guess. XRP, Solana, all these top coins, am I buying? No. Do I hold them? Yes. If it was somebody new coming in, I would not tell them to touch those unless they have a pretty high net worth and they're more trying to play it safe right now. If they're lower on the ranks, they got $1,000, something like that. Go, in my opinion, go a little bit crazy with a couple of juicy opportunities. You know, go into a narrative, like I always say, specialize in it. Put $100, for example, into 10 different projects, and the chance of one of them doing a crazy multiplier in a good bull market like we're witnessing right now is so ridiculously high. Again, to name an example, if you just bought one of the coins I talked about just a few weeks ago, and I was talking about, hey, I sold a good chunk, but I'm keeping the majority of it for in case it moons further, you can see it has. And another lesson to be learned is, don't marry your bags, in the sense of know that you have to sell something at some points. And on the opposite side, don't feel sad if you took profit at some point and the price went up further. Normally, I would never even look at it again if I sold everything. But in this case here, I didn't sell everything, because from my perspective, I lost everything. I lost all that money. And then when I found it again, I was so relieved. I was so happy that I was like, might as well now let it ride. But I wanted to at least secure my initial investment, plus basically a little bit more to make sure like the 2 years waiting was worth it. I've had discussion in the comment section a few times. People ask me, Dusty, so what's the time frame on this investment stuff? In my opinion, 12, 16 months, 18 months perhaps. Middle of 2025, I'm definitely going to be cashing out significantly. Some of you guys might find this strange, but I've been here for almost 11 years. And one thing I can tell you now is, if you do not cash out at some point, there could be regret involved, because your money will at some point go down again. I'd rather sometimes cash out chunks to at least have money on the sidelines to buy the dip, but also to feel satisfied of making progress. Example, let's say you start today with $1 million. You go in this bull market. Why is it so laggy? You go in this bull market to $15 million. It's not crazy, it can happen. The bull market ends, end of 2025, for example. You go back down to $1.2 million. To somebody not in crypto might think, oh, but you just made 200,000 in a year. That's amazing. But to you, you just lost $14 million. You know what I mean? And so preferably then, as things are catching up or going up, you at least cash out some to make sure you go from that 1 million to whatever, 3.5, where you pick a number, 6. So you just can't go down to that same level or even below where you started at. Many of my friends made maybe 10, maybe $20 million their run and then lost everything. And some people actually got to below where they started at. Because trust me when I say, most people, they start out very, very small with this whole crypto stuff and they can make big money really quickly. But most of them lose it all again. It's only some that are able to de-risk once they get large sums of money and also properly cash out. Because once you're in the system, you think you want to get more and more and more and more and more gains because, being risky got you those gains. So you want to be risky to get even more gains and continue on. At some point, you just have to kind of stop. And the last run mostly taught me that at some point, my opinion, one of my very rich friends said, cash out 1% every day for 2025. And that does not mean 1% of your total portfolio, starting at 100% day one and then down to 0 in 100 days, in 3 months and a bit. It means if you start out right now with $1 million, you cash out 1% day one. So that's, for example, $10,000. And day two is $9,900 or whatever. You understand what I mean with that. So it's just you do 1% of your remaining balance every single day. So not if you start out with $1 million, do $10,000 for 100 days and then you're done. In theory, you should never go to 0 basically because you keep doing 1% of whatever you have left or maybe 0.8, something like that. Or just decide to put some money on the sides every single day or, for example, every single week. You pick it. It's just the idea of starting to make progress into leveling up. Doesn't matter how much you missed. Oh, crypto went up even more afterwards. Nobody catches the exact high top except for a very lucky few. A very famous crypto YouTuber and a VC friend of ours had a bet, $100,000 or $69,000 as the top. The VC guy won, and another very famous crypto YouTuber, you guys might know him, lost. But I personally think it was just luck. He couldn't have known, but maybe he did. Almost nobody knows though. To be honest, you have a region, you have an idea, but you don't know exactly where. Oh, and I find it so strange as well to make these videos for you guys time and time again, preparing you and telling you this, that, and not a concrete plan. But I really wish personally, if I was, able to turn back time a couple years, that somebody was able to set me down like this and say, hey, it's all gonna come crashing down at some point. So you better make sure you understand that. This right now is the time to get more risky. At some point, it's about time to get less risky. If you're going for a meme coin here and there, right now, almost everything just pops off. So the risk factor is pretty good. If you're going for a really sketchy altcoin right now, it's a time where things pop off. So the risk reward is pretty damn good. If you're going for a top layer one, you're probably fine, but you just not maximize gains. But that doesn't mean you won't still be able to make crazy sums of money on something like a 𝗬𝘁 or something, or a Solana. You probably will be fine. Then again, keep in mind that Bitcoin is the deciding factor. That's the difference between full-blown alt season and what we're witnessing right now. As Bitcoin goes to an all-time high, gets past the halving cycle, for example, we're going to see some more euphoria in the sense of it doesn't really matter what Bitcoin does. People are eager to pump anyway. Right now, if you look at the Google Trends, it's not really new people joining in. The majority of addresses of Bitcoin are in profit, but there's no real new people joining, right? It's just the old ones that are here continuing. And if there's no fresh blood, I call it now quick, things don't go spiral out of control because most of these people have been a little bit seasoned, or at least are not that quick to sell or buy as much as the new retail would. That would join once we get to a new all-time high, for example. Be wary of traps. Write your goals down up front so you know when you can start to cash out a little bit. Don't skip the airdrop farming stuff, because even though it might only be worth a couple $100 at the start, for example, whatever you get, it could be worth thousands, if not tens of thousands in the near future. Don't think $100 somewhere is not going to make the craziest of differences. I'm giving you this as an example. $100 would have gone times 350 if you invested it a couple months ago. Would have still been a juicy 35,000. And stick around for my top altcoins because those I'm buying, those I'm crazy bullish on. Doesn't mean it will work, but at least then, you can know what I'm doing. And hopefully you can use that to get your own little list of coins you're excited about. Then again, I've got many lists of AI coins on my channel, so you can just check those out as well for sure, or my gaming coins, etc. I'll be doing a couple of top coins for you guys very, very soon though. And the only reason I haven't is because most of them that I talked about recently have already done so good that I sometimes think, ooh, am I not pushing my luck, Anyway, guys, I believe in you. Just know that if you're watching these videos regularly, I really honestly believe this is going to be it for you. And even if you don't believe it, I believe in you. And hopefully I'll see you guys again in another crypto video somewhere later today or tomorrow. Who knows? Peace out, guys.